The plants that changed Dona Rita's life. Dona Rita has always been a strong woman. I worked all day at the corner bakery, got up early, made bread, served customers and also took care of the house. But in recent months, something was different. She felt tired all the time, as if she had a weight on her shoulders. Even climbing the stairs of the townhouse where he lived with his son, João, seemed like an impossible mission. "Mom, you're as white as a sheet," said João one morning as she dragged herself into the kitchen. "Ah, son, I'm just a little tired." "It must be the heat," she replied, but she knew it wasn't just that. João, a 25-year-old boy who worked as an app driver, was not convinced. He knew his mother. She never complained, but now even breathing seemed difficult. That night, while she slept, he was thinking, "I needed to do something." The next day, João arrived home with a bag full of strange things. "Mom, today we are going to change everything," he announced, placing the purchases on the kitchen table. Dona Rita looked suspicious. Inside the bag were a bunch of little pots with plants she had never seen before. "What is this, João?" "These are plants that will make you strong again," he said, excitedly. "I researched. There are some that help you sleep, others that give you energy. There is even one that is good for joint pain." Dona Rita crossed her arms. "Son, I don't have time to take care of plants. What if they die?" "They won't die, Mother. I will help. And look, some don't even need much care. We put it in the kitchen window and that's it." She sighed, but left it. After all, João was trying to help. The first plant, aloe vera. João picked up a small vase with a green plant, full of thorns around the edges. "This one is the aloe. It is great for the skin. If you have a burn or itch, just apply the gel from the inside of the leaf." Dona Rita frowned. "And how do I get this gel off?" "It's easy. Cut the leaf, open it in the middle and scrape it with a spoon. Then just apply it to your skin." She took the sheet carefully, as if it were a fragile thing. "What if I eat?" "No, Mother." John laughed. "Just to put it on your skin. But there are others that we can eat." The second plant, rosemary. João took another small vase, with thin, fragrant leaves. "That's the rosemary. It helps memory and gives energy. We can use it to season the meat." Dona Rita smelled the leaves. What a good smell. But how is that going to give me energy?" "Just use it on beans, chicken. The smell helps. And if you drink some tea in the morning, you will see the difference." She shrugged, but kept the vase near the stove. The third plant, mint. "This one is the mint," João continued. "If you have a stomach ache or feel sick, just make some tea." Dona Rita took a leaf and rubbed it between her fingers. "Wow, what a strong smell." "Yes, and it also scares away mosquitoes," João laughed. "We can plant more in the backyard." The following weeks, over the next few days, Dona Rita began to notice small changes. Mint tea in the morning helped when her stomach felt upset. The rosemary in the beans made everything tastier, and she even found herself smelling the leaves when she was tired. Aloe vera, she used when she burned herself with the hot bread pan. "Mom, you look different," João said one day, while she was stirring a pan on the stove. "How different?" "She's more excited. Before, you just stayed on the couch after work." Dona Rita smiled. "Yes, son. I think these little plants are really helping." The great discovery. A month later, João arrived home with more news. "Mom, I found a list of 20 plants that improve health. We already have 3, but we can plant more." Dona Rita looked curious. 20. "And what else is on this list?" "It has garlic, which is good for blood pressure. It has ginger, which helps with immunity. There's even a plant called stevia, which is sweet and doesn't make you fat." "Stevia? Never heard of it." "It's a leaf that we can use instead of sugar." "I brought some seedlings." Dona Rita took the paper and read it out loud. 1. Aloe vera, skin and healing. 2. Rosemary, memory and energy. 3. Mint, digestion. She stopped and looked at João. "You're becoming a plant expert, huh?" John laughed. "I want to see you well, Mom." The new routine. Over time, Dona Rita's house became a true natural pharmacy. In the backyard, there was basil, which she used in tomato sauce. In the kitchen window, a small pot of parsley, which she chopped into the salad. Even João started taking chamomile tea to help him sleep better after driving all day. "Mom, you're becoming famous," said the neighbor, Dona Maria, one day. Everyone here in the neighborhood is asking for changes to their plants. Dona Rita laughed. Just plant and take care of it, Maria. There's no mystery. And what are you using for back pain? The neighbor asked. I make roux compress. Just boil the leaves and place them in a cloth. Dona Maria's eyes widened. Can you fix it for me? The miracle of plants 6 months later, Dona Rita was no longer the same. The tiredness was gone. She climbed the stairs without getting out of breath, worked at the bakery with alacrity, and even started going for walks with her friends. Mom, you look like someone else, Joao said, proudly. Yes, son. These little plants saved my life. John smiled. It wasn't just the plants, Mom. It was you who decided to take care of yourself. Dona Rita patted him on the shoulder. But you helped me. And now we have a mission, to teach everyone how to use these plants. The 20 plants that changed everything at the end of the year. Joao and Dona Rita organized a fair in the neighborhood. They distributed seedlings and taught people how to use each plant. The list of 20 plants became a leaflet that everyone wanted. 1. Aloe vera, skin and healing. 2. Rosemary, memory and energy. 3. Mint, digestion and nausea. 4. Basil, stress and anxiety. 5. Parsley, kidneys and detoxification. 6. Chamomile, sleep and relaxation. 7. Aruda, pain and inflammation. 8. Garlic, pressure and immunity. 9. Ginger, flu and nausea. 10. Stevia, natural sweet, sugar-free. 11. Lemongrass, calming and digestive. 12. Boldo, liver and hangover. 13. Lemon balm, anxiety and insomnia. 14. Blonde, muscle pain. 15. Oregano, antioxidant and antibacterial. 16. Thyme, cough and cold. 17. Calendula, wounds and irritated skin. 18. Hibiscus, pressure and cholesterol. 19. Dandelion, detox. 20. Nettle, anemia and joints. Look, Mom, Joao said, showing the leaflet. We helped so many people. Dona Rita looked at the yard, full of green and healthy plants. And this is just the beginning. And Dona Rita and Joao discovered that the plants were not just decorations. They could heal, give energy and even change lives. And best of all, anyone could have a little piece of this magic at home. Just start. Joao looked at the seedlings in the yard and smiled. Mom, we could do more. Like, a book? Dona Rita laughed, moving the earth with her hands. A book? You're getting ambitious, huh? It's not just for us. It's for everyone. People always ask, how do you do that? Then we explain, but they forget. If I had everything written down. Dona Rita stopped and looked at him. You are right. People need to see that it's not difficult. Joao took an old notebook and a pen. Then let's get started. Today. The two sat under the shade of the boldo tree. Joao wrote at the top of the page, Plants that heal, an easy guide to have at home. First, we explain how to plant, said Dona Rita. Nothing complicated. Earth, water, sun. Just that. Joao wrote it down quickly. And then, how to use it. Like, lemongrass is good for stomachaches. Make a tea with 3 leaves and that's it. That. And warn that boldo is not to be taken every day, only when needed. And the nettle? John frowned. How do we explain that it itches, but it feels good? Dona Rita carefully picked up a sheet. Right, take it with a glove. Once it's cooked, it doesn't itch anymore. And it helps with the blood. John laughed. It looks like a cake recipe. And it is. But instead of cake, we make health. By the end of the afternoon, the notebook already had several pages. John read aloud. 1. Stevia. Sweetens without sugar. Great for those with diabetes. Easy plant, like sun. Dona Rita nodded. There's just one thing missing. What? We should tell you how it all started. That it was by chance, with a rosemary plant, that he was born alone. John thought for a while. And we almost ripped it out because we thought it was weeds. They both laughed. That's right. The best things start without us realizing it. Joao wrote at the end, start with one plant. Then another. Soon you will see, nature already takes care of you. Dona Rita closed the notebook. Tomorrow we'll show it to the people at the fair. And who knows, maybe one day it will actually become a book. Who knows? She said, winking. But the important thing is that you are already helping. And so, between laughter and notes, they discovered that the true power of plants was not just in the leaves. It was in the hands of those who planted, in the stories they kept and in the lives they could change. João kept the notebook in his old backpack. Dona Rita turned off the kitchen light, leaving only the moon to illuminate the table. Tomorrow morning we'll take the seedlings, she said, covering the plants with a cloth. And the chamomile tea. João pointed to the teapot on the stove. You're going to help someone sleep. Dona Rita smiled. Or dreaming. The two left through the back door. The yard smelled of wet earth and basil. João stopped for a second, looking at the rosemary that had started it all. Do you know what I think? He said, softly. What? That plants choose us. It's not the other way around. Dona Rita laughed, pulling him by the arm. Come, philosopher. Otherwise we lose sleep too. The next day, the market stall was packed. People stopped, touched the leaves, asked questions. A girl with dark circles under her eyes reached for chamomile tea. My mother hasn't slept in weeks, she said, her voice tired. Dona Rita placed another bag in her hand. Here. And tell her that the plant sends you a hug. The girl smiled, for the first time in days. A gentleman wearing a straw hat stopped in front of John. Is this one good for your memory? He asked, pointing to the rosemary. John nodded yes. My grandfather said to remember the good things. The man took off his hat and ran his hand through his thinning hair. Then give me two. One for me, one for the old man. When the fair ended, João and Dona Rita counted the coins. It wasn't much, but it was enough for lunch. And there's still money left to buy more seeds, João said, excitedly. Dona Rita looked at the people leaving, each one with a small plant or a bag of herbs. Look, she murmured. We didn't even know we were planting all this. John laughed. Yeah. We just wanted a garden. But the garden had already grown. And now it had roots in every house that took a seedling home. João kept the coins in his shirt pocket. The sun was already low, painting the sky orange. Tomorrow we'll bring more, said Dona Rita, closing the wooden box where they kept the seedlings. João looked at his hands, still dirty with dirt. Is everyone coming back? Dona Rita smiled. If the plant works, it comes back. If you don't do it, come back too. To complain. They both laughed. The wind swayed the remaining rosemary leaves. The next day, the fair was busier. A woman with a baby in her arms stopped at the shack. Is this one good for colic? He asked, pointing to the chamomile. John confirmed. My mother used it. A teaspoon in hot water. The woman sighed. My son cries all night. I'll take it. Dona Rita wrapped the seedling carefully. If you need more, come back. We always have. The baby reached out his little hand and pulled out a leaf. The mother laughed. Look, he already liked it. Later, a tall young man arrived in a hurry. I need something for anxiety. I'm losing sleep. João took a small vase. Lavender. Smell, calm. The boy sniffed and closed his eyes. Wow, it's really good. Dona Rita poked João. See? People didn't even know they needed it. John looked around. The tent was almost empty. People took the plants as if they were treasures. We just wanted a garden, he repeated. Dona Rita shook her head. No. We planted hope. John smiled. It was true. Each seedling that left there took a little piece of their yard. And, without meaning to, they were planting something bigger. At the end of the fair, an elderly woman approached. She wore a flowery dress and a headscarf. Do you have mint? Dona Rita took a bag. For digestion or for tea? For the grandchildren. They live with stomachaches. João delivered the seedling. Tell them it's to be taken after lunch. The lady held the plant with affection. Thanks. My yard is full of your stuff. João and Dona Rita looked at each other. They didn't say anything. But they knew that, somehow, they had changed more than gardens. Routines had changed, sleepless nights, minor inconveniences. And the next day, they would do the same thing again. Because the plants grew. And people too. The fair was over, but the sun was still shining brightly. João and Dona Rita packed the last empty boxes in the wheelbarrow. The smell of wet earth and rosemary still hung in the air. "Today we sell almost everything," said João, wiping the sweat from his forehead. "And we still had some left over." Dona Rita laughed, showing a handful of seeds in her apron pocket. On the way back, they passed Dona Malene's house. She was at the gate, with her arms crossed. "Hey, John, that boldo you gave me is huge," he shouted, pointing to the vase in the window. "Just water and talk to him," João joked. "To talk?" Dona Malene frowned. "Yeah, plants like it. My grandmother said that they grow better when we talk to them." Dona Malene let out a laugh. "Well, then I'm going to tell him that my husband stopped complaining about heartburn." Dona Rita poked João. "See, Boldo is already working miracles." They laughed and moved on. At the corner, Susie E., the baker, waved from afar. "Guys, I need more of that lemon balm. My wife won't sleep without her tea." "I'll take it tomorrow," Dona Rita promised. "And bring some basil too. The cheese bread is delicious with it," asked Susie E., rubbing his hands. João wrote everything down on a piece of paper. "It can leave." When they arrived home, the backyard was already waiting for them. The plants seemed greener, more alive. João filled the watering can. "I think we should make more mint cuttings," he said. "Because of the lady today." "Yeah. Belly pain is annoying. What if we help more people?" Dona Rita smiled. "I'm already separating the seeds." In the late afternoon, they sat on the porch. The wind carried the smell of plants and the sound of children's laughter playing in the street. João took a sip of chamomile tea. "Do you know what I was thinking?" "What?" "That we don't just sell plants. We sell a different way of living." Dona Rita agreed. "And the best thing is that we don't even need to talk much. The plants do the work." João looked at the yard, full of life. "Tomorrow we'll take some more of this to the fair. And the day after tomorrow too. And then we'll see." They laughed. They knew that as long as there was land, water, and people in need, the work would never end. And that was good. The next morning arrived with the sun hitting the leaves of the plants. João woke up early, as always, and went to water the pots before breakfast. Dona Rita was already in the kitchen, rolling tapioca balls. "I brought the seedlings you asked for," said João, placing a burlap bag on the counter. "Excellent. These are for Dona Maria. She has high blood pressure again. Will mint help?" "Help. And rosemary too." Dona Rita took a handful of dry leaves and put them in a cloth bag. "She likes afternoon tea." João looked at the backyard, where the neighborhood children were already running among the plants. "I think we should teach them how to take care of it here." Dona Rita stopped what she was doing. "Good idea. Who knows, maybe they'll take it home and show it to their parents." "Yeah. And we could do some workshops. Like teaching how to plant, harvest, make homemade medicine." Dona Rita scratched her chin. "But a workshop costs money. And we don't have much. It doesn't have to be fancy. We do it right here, on the balcony. Ask mothers to bring a dish to share. And that's it." Dona Rita smiled. "You have every idea, João. I like to see things grow. Not just the plants." At the fair, Dona Rita and João's stall was busier than ever. There were people buying seedlings, others just wanting to talk. A girl with deep circles under her eyes stopped in front of the herbs. "Do you have anything to sleep on?" "Yes, there is," said Dona Rita, picking up a bunch of passion fruit. "Make tea with the leaves. And if you want, take a little valerian too." "Valerian?" The girl frowned. "It's a root. Strong smell, but it works." João showed a small bag. "Just boil a little piece in water." The girl sighed. "I'm so tired. My baby doesn't let anyone sleep." "Then take them both," said Dona Rita. "And if you need more, come back here." The girl thanked her and left with the bags in her hand. João looked at Dona Rita. "We should have a notebook to write down who takes what. Then ask if it helped." "I'm already thinking about it." Dona Rita took an old notebook out of her bag. "Tomorrow we start." At the end of the day, when they were putting things away, a man stopped in front of the tent. He had dirt on his hands and an old hat on his head. "Are you the ones from the community garden?" "We are," said João. "I heard about it. I need some seedlings for my mother." She has rheumatism. It has ginger and turmeric, said Dona Rita. They both help. How much does it cost? It costs nothing. Joao took 2 seedlings and handed them to the man. Take these. If it works, then we can talk about planting more. The man looked at the seedlings, a little embarrassed. But, you're not going to charge? No, Dona Rita shook her head. We just want people to be well. The man stored the seedlings carefully. Thanks. I'll bring you some bean seeds. My mother always says that beans are medicine. John laughed. We accept. When the man left, Dona Rita sighed. Sometimes I think we should charge. To have a little extra money. But then it wouldn't be the same, said Joao. We do it because we like it. Not because he wants profit. Yeah. Dona Rita looked at the sky, which was starting to get dark. But a little extra money wouldn't hurt. We'll find a way. It always does. They closed the tent and started walking home. On the way, Joao saw a vacant piece of land, full of weeds. Just look. That place could be another vegetable garden. Dona Rita stopped and watched. It's big. You can plant a lot of things. We could talk to people at City Hall. See if they let us use it. You don't stop, right? No, Joao smiled. As long as I have land to plant, I won't stop. Dona Rita shook her head, laughing. So tomorrow we'll go there. And so, between laughter and plans, they returned home, knowing that the next day would bring more work, more plants, and more people to help. And that, in the end, was what mattered.